Hello all my wonderful coloring friends. Today we're here to do a page from Cute Little Dragon Halloween, and we'll be making some transparent fabric and trying out a way to color a black background and still be able to see the images underneath. So stay tuned. So like I said in the intro, today we're going to try and color a page. Let me find it. Here it is. Okay, this is a page that I am doing as a buddy color with Grumble Bunny here on YouTube. If you haven't already, please make sure to go check their channel out. It's amazing. And they do like really awesome flip throughs, and they have, they get some really good books. I would say a lot of the time I've been enabled by them. And Grumble Bunny, if you're watching, I'm not upset about it. I'm just saying that it is a thing that happens a lot with you, that I get enabled. So what we're going to attempt, the pages in this book have like these little borders that are with patterns on them, and I think you can ignore them for the most part if you just single color. But I really like the candy corn on this, and it matches in with the colors I'm trying to use. So I was trying out on a piece of scratch paper, so forgive the numbers, journaling info, and I don't know if this will be visible. But I went down with Jelly Roll first and then over with the black marker, and it makes it, again, don't know if you can see, but it makes it so I can see the Jelly Roll underneath. So I'm going to be able to keep the candy corn as long as I use a Jelly Roll over it, I think. So I'm going to speed this part up, and I'm just going to go ahead and get these candy corn made Jelly Roll colored, and then let them dry a little bit so they're not going to smear when I come over it with the black alcohol marker. Okay, so I went over all the candy corn with my Jelly Roll Moonlight. And also, Kylie down under, if you're watching, I'm going to be using the Jelly Roll Moonlights throughout this too, because you said you were interested in seeing how they looked. So I hope you enjoy seeing that. Now I'm going to go back with my black marker over both parts of this border and see if I can still pick out the candy corn. If I can't, I have a black border, and I'm not upset about that at all. So now I have all the black background colored, and I'm not sure if it's visible to you, but I can see my candy corn, and we've gotten rid of those lollipops that I didn't want to deal with. I thought you'd all like to see the back of the page, because I know a lot of us like to see the marker work, but look at the candy corn. I thought that was kind of cool. Next up, I'm going to color the inside of the area here, and I am using my Ohuhu Markers, and this one is number 82. So I will get this done in a jiffy. Okay, so who knew that today would be a horror story? You know, I got to live panic through tricks and treats because my number 82 and my number 120 both dried up mid-coloring and are dead. Horror story for me. Who knew we were gonna have a murder on the video? But we do. So now what I need to do is figure out how this dragon is drawn underneath here. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be the idea. And I think he looks like that, because we're gonna need to put this dead purple marker under where we think his body ends and the ground begins, because when we go to color the transparent sheet, do you hear that? I have to push so hard, I'm sorry. But when we go to color the transparent sheet, we're gonna want the colors to match their surroundings so that when it covers, you still see what's supposed to be underneath of it. So on the part dragging in the background, you would obviously have the background. There's so much more of this. I'm nervous now. So we know this part is also background through here. So I got to get that. Yeah, that's how his body would end. And then up through here, we've got that. And then we'll have some body leading to his arm. And all of that, I'm going to say, are spines from the back of his head. Because why else would they be hanging that way? Okay, so let's get the rest of that colored in. And I'm doing this part on camera, like in regular time, so that you can see how I'm trying to figure out what is what. I might be right, I might be wrong, but it's always good to see somebody else do something just so you can understand what's going on. Because, like I said in a previous video, sometimes you think something is the coolest thing, and it is, but it's not near as difficult as you think it is, or you're like, I could never do whatever, and you could. You just don't know how they did it. And sometimes, in my opinion, the simplest things are the easiest things. So, yeah, another death. The body count for today's video right now is at 2. Alright, so we've colored in everything that I think is going to be, almost everything that I think is going to be purple. I think right under here would be purple as well. So now he's got a little string bean arm, but it's fine. Okay, so hopefully nothing else dies. Also, in case you can see it, my candy corn are visible in the background. I can't remember if I said that. I've been having so much trouble with these markers dying that my brain isn't thinking that way. So I'm going to go ahead and start coloring the dragon. I am using number 47 for his horns. And his tail. And the little spikes that show outside of his costume. And now I've got to figure out his belly. So his belly starts there and comes up. And I would say it wraps around that way. And through there. So his belly's getting colored next. And I did the big one because that's taking me way too long. So basically you're just coloring in the dinosaur or dragon. Oh my goodness. Color in your dragon just like you would if you didn't have a sheet on, is the way I do it. And I know Grumble Bunny already finished hers. Oh, I'm going to do his little muzzle as well. She already did hers, and she told me how she colored hers. And of course, it's completely different than the way I'm coloring mine. As far as how she got her ghost sheet white. And hers is lovely. So really, please make sure you check out her channel. And I do want to try her way of how she got the sheet transparent. But I don't, you know, I'm not going to show that in a video. That's how she does it. So I'm showing how I traditionally do it, or how I normally do it, so that you can see how I do it. This is 48. And again, we're just trying to color all the dragon under the sheet. Oh, this is the first marker that doesn't feel like it's got the death. So there's our little dragon. I'm just going to color his toe beans with the lighter green. And there he is. Alright, so everything is technically done. Not how we're going to end it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the candy corn. I really hope you can see it. If not, you'll see it start to take shape as I'm doing it. I'm using a white Signo Uniball, 2 Moonlight jelly rolls, an orange and a yellow. So I will be right back. And the candy corn is colored. I have a few things I want to do all over the place, but I am going to go ahead and get started on the fabric, because I know that's what a lot of you are here for if you're watching the video. And I'll get that done, and I will finish off this page today while I'm on camera in case you want to see how it goes out. Maybe there's something else in here that you would like to know about. I'm just using white acrylic paint. And then I have a pipette and some clean water, and I'm putting it into the paint. And I believe this is on camera, so I hope you can see it. I'll scooch a little closer. I'm really lazy and don't like to clean a bunch of stuff, so I mix my paint and my water with my brush. And we're not looking for water, we're looking for halfway between water and paint. Too wet, and we won't see any paint. Too much paint, we won't see any see-throughness. Is that, I don't even know that that's a word. I just grabbed a slight bit more water. I think one more drop will do it. And again, just mixing it together. And then trying to get as much of it off my brush as I can, which is why like a toothpick or something would work. I just don't have one sitting here. And this is a fairly small brush. My candy corn is relatively dry. Okay. It's a relatively small brush. And I do need to say that with my way of doing this, your markers will run. So like where I'm here at the purple, I'm not going to go straight up into that green because I'll wind up with the purple in the green. I really hope what I'm saying makes sense. But yeah, you can see like already the first part I had colored is drying up a bit. And with that, you get a lot more of the purple coming through underneath. And you don't need a lot. We're not trying to saturate the paper, but you do want to cover all of it. And I'd rather put on too little at once and come back than have too much and come back. And just this one spot is bugging me. There we go. But yeah, you just get it all spread out. And the tiniest bit more. And I am sorry, I'm so slow. Certain parts, I just feel like that's the part I need to leave whole. And unfortunately, I am very slow. All right, so is there, yes, there's more purple. So we're going to finish up all the purple first. And honestly, you should probably do the green first because green is lighter than purple. And that way, if you contaminate your paint, you know, it's not as bad. Okay. I just like making the outside edges really crisp, like where the line work is. It just saves me from going over it twice with a white gel pen. Because you're going to need to do that just to cover up those lines. I'm trying to think how best to come at this. I want to go this way. And like I said, simple is best for me. I'm not trying to do more work if I don't have to. I know sometimes that doesn't seem true, but it is generally how I feel. So while I'm doing this, I want to talk about a few things, which is another reason I don't want to speed it up. is that this is how I do bottles, rain, water. I know, Sue, if you're watching, you were asking me about bottles and water. This is the same technique. I just color the bottle as normal, like you were talking about, specifically half-filled bottles. So the part of the bottle that, I don't know, let's say the bottle's on a wall. If I will color the bottle the wall color until I get to the contents. Then the contents will be, you know, whatever color I want to make the contents. Let's say it's blood, so it's red, you know. And then I will take my white paint and water it down and go over all of the bottle with it. And then the parts that are the wall will show through, and the parts that are the contents will show through. So I hope that's helpful. I will be doing bottles though soon. There's another video coming up in this series that will have bottles in it. So you can stay tuned for that as well. Just going to dry off my brush and clean it off a little bit because purple. And I missed one last bit of the purple figures. It's just right here under his snout. Okay, so everything that's meant to be purple is purple. And now I'm going to do, oh no, that isn't white. All right, y'all, here's how I fix white when I mess up. We did that. And then we're going to take number 47 again. And go right over it. There we go. He's fixed. I'm not worrying about it. All right, so what is actually under this costume? The costume comes up and goes this way. So the rest of his belly from this line up is part of this. Oh my goodness. I don't know if it's within hearing from the microphone, but my cat is asleep on I have a papasan chair in the office that I sit and watch TV when I'm knitting and stuff. And if I'm not in it, then he is in it. And it's right in front of the one part of my L desk. And I am sitting here and it's just me and him and it's super quiet except for me running my mouth. And every time I'm quiet, I just hear these little tiny snores. And I can't stand it. I'm like having the hardest time not getting up and just running over to pet the cat. Alright, so I am just trying to get this color spread out good. Well, after my panic with his snout, I'm nervous about what I'm coloring. I don't know if that happens to y'all as well, but once I mess something up, I'm like, oh no, and I pay like extra close attention, and I start second guessing everything. Okay, so that's it. Now it's all the light green. So let's try to get that covered. We'll start down here on this line. I am going to go straight over his eyes because it's just quicker for me than trying to go around them. So I will just come back with a black marker at the end and put them back on darker. And he's got his little ghosty suit on. I am going to come in later, off screen, off camera, when the video's over, and do another layer on my candy corns because they are so splotchy, which, oh, and we missed one. Let me grab that. They're splotchy. And they're gonna be. It's Jelly Roll. It doesn't just, you know, one coat and you're done. But the colors are very vibrant. I mean, they're fluorescent. I love it. I'm going to use this green that I was using. Oh, I didn't use it anywhere. I just brought it out. Okay. I don't feel confident that those guys are dry. I'm just going to come in here and do the lines on our little dragon's horn. Like such. And I'll do his little nostril. Almost stuck my hand in it. His little nostrils like that. Got to give this a second to dry, and then we can come back in. See, I got something. Same thing. Take your marker and go over whatever you touch, if you're me. And then we're going to use the white to go over the ghost's costume, and he'll be ready. So here's the eyes that we said we'd come back and fix. And then our white gel pen. I'm going to turn my book because everything I have is wet right now. And I just need to stare at this for a second. So he's got the white up there. And it wraps around here. Yeah, lots of turning today, folks. And then it comes around here. I also have a piece that comes up and runs like that. And another one over here. We just want to cover, well, I just want to cover all those white lines. You may find that they're covered enough for yourself. So you could just stop right where we were. Or if you're like me and have to fuss with everything, you can go over the white lines or the black lines with your white jelly roll or a uniball signal like I am, just to get the lines in the fabric back. And I don't get too specific. If I miss the line, I'll just go back in and make it darker. I like the ones around his horn, so I want to get those. It's so funny when I like literally can't talk because I'm drawing a line. That's so sad. Okay. And then I want to come up here because there's a little patchy bit. And then he's got them coming up around his arm, where the fabric would fold. And you could even take this a step further and use pencils and go underneath all the folds and use like a little bit of a darker green to add shadow and shading. That's the step that I stop at. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I will, like, especially with the bottles full of ingredients, when I do something like that, I do come in with shadow and shade them in. If I'm doing rain, sometimes I'll come back in with glossy accents and go over it with that. Or puddles, I'll do that with that as well. But yeah, this is our tiny little ghosty dragon. I think he's adorable. Like I said, I will come back in for the candy corn and get a second layer on it. We got rid of those lollipops. I might I'll pull out my jelly rolls. Hold on. Noisy, sorry. I have a purple one. Oh, that's a dark purple. I still might do it though. This one's light. Let's see. Yeah, I may come in and just add a purple line around both of these edges just to like highlight it more. But it'll be in my finished pages video if I do. That's the only thing left that I think I'll do is finish the candy corn and put a little purple guy on both of those. And I may re-highlight this line with the... We'll do that now. See, listen to me trying to think this out. That's not good. Let's turn it. And I'm just going to come in. And of course, this color I have in the thin pen. So it's a little more difficult to get a big line. And she's got the line coming through here as well. And then over here. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So that is our dragon from Lee Holland's Cute Little Dragon Halloween. I hope you enjoyed it. And until tomorrow, friends, have a very colorful day. Bye.